Hi class, so we are back looking at some equations. We're still in Unit 1. So here is our new I can. Please write this on the front page of your notes. I can tell if an equation has one, none, or an infinite amount of solutions. So up until today, we have been working with equations that have one solution. Now we need to add in this whole idea of no solution and infinitely many solutions. Okay. So as I'm looking at this, we all know a solution just simply means an answer to the problem. When we find a solution, we found the answer. Infinite means it goes on and on forever. So an infinite number of solutions means everything works. And again, here is our variable. That is a letter that stands for a number in the equation. Copy these down in your notes before you go on. When you are asked if an equation has one, none, or an infinite amount of solutions, the first thing you have to do is start solving the problem. You can't just look at a problem and go, oh, this has infinite many solutions. I even struggle with that. So we are going to solve these equations. So here's our example. So we first need to decide which side we want the variable to end up on. So here's our example of 2x plus 1 equals 3x minus 1. So I'm just going to say that I want my variables on this side. Oops, that's the highlighter. I want my x's on this side and my numbers on this side. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to go through and solve this. So I'm going to start with boxing things. I have 2x and 3x, and I have in my circles positive 1 and negative 1. All right, so now I'm going to move, and I do this at one thing at a time. I'm going to start with moving my x over my 3x, so positive 3x is right here, so that means I'm going to have a negative 3x on this side. If I do it to one side, I do it to both sides. And now I bring down what I am doing. So I have 2x minus 3x gives me negative 1x plus 1. Now these guys right here cancel each other out. So I'm just going to cross them out, and then I'm going to bring down that negative 1. All right, now I still have that 1 on this side with my variable. So opposite of positive 1 is negative 1. Negative 1. Now I clean this up. I have negative 1x equals negative 2. Now I look at my x and I say, oh, it's not alone. It's getting times by that negative 1. So negative 1 times x, opposite of timesing is dividing. So now I have x equals 2. And those are all of the steps that we have been practicing for about a week now. All right, I would like you to pause the video and look at this example, okay? I want you to go through the steps and then check your work when I get down to the next one, okay? So pause the video and start trying to get x alone. All right, as you can see here, I have rewritten it up here so I'd have more space. And I've also put the boxes and circles around. I haven't identified where I want things to go yet. So let's say I want my x's on this side and my numbers on this side. Okay, so now I'm going to do that. I'm going to move this right negative 5x, so that's positive 5x to both sides. And now I'm going to solve. These cancel out because I know they do. Now I have negative 16. I haven't done anything with that negative 10 yet. Now I have negative 5x plus 5x. Well, that cancels out too. All right, well, what am I left with? I'm left with negative 10 equals negative 16. Wait, that's not true. That will never be true. This statement is false, so I know that this has no solution. This is what it looks like when something has no solution. You will end up with things that can't happen. Negative 10 does not equal negative 16. Negative 10 equals negative 10. So this means that this can't happen, okay? This is no solution. All right, well, here's our next example. Well, let's go through and do the first step, which is using the distributive property right here on this negative 2 into the parentheses. So I have negative 2 times x, that's negative 2x. Negative 2 times positive 3 gives me negative 6. And I don't need to worry about anything else. I'm just going to take it across. All right, so I'm boxing my variables, and I'm circling my numbers. Now I'm going to just move, my x's to the left, the right this time, and my numbers over here. So you can see it doesn't really matter, okay? So now I'm moving them around. I'm going to start with moving this x to negative 2x over here to this negative 2x plus 2x, because that's the opposite, plus 2x. Now I bring down that negative 6 because we know those are going to cancel out. And I'm going to bring down this negative 6 because I haven't done anything with it yet. Now I'm looking at this negative 2x plus 2x, well, that gives me 0. I'm left with negative 6 equals negative 6. Wait, that's always going to be true. This is always true. So when this is always true, just like this, it doesn't matter what my x value is, my x number. It could be any number because it'll always balance out just like this. Negative 6 equals negative 6. So this is infinitely many solutions. This is infinite solutions. Because this is always true. All right, make sure you have this written down, pause the video, and write this down. Here are the 4 practice problems we will be doing in class. If you would like to get a jump start on these, great, do so. Make sure you show your work. I'll see you in class. Bye, guys.